The physical separation of hedonic evaluation of pleasure valence in the cortex from sensory computations suggests the existence of a hedonic brain proper. This cortex contains areas such as the orbitofrontal, insular, medial prefrontal, and cingulate cortices, which code for hedonic evaluations and have structural connections to subcortical hedonic hotspots. Causation is predicted on a change in enjoyment caused by brain manipulation, whereas neural coding is inferred by monitoring brain activity connected to pleasurable stimuli. Pleasure encoding may reach a pinnacle of cortical localization in an orbitofrontal brain subregion where neuroimaging activity corresponds highly with subjective pleasantness, rating of food types, and other pleasures. The orbitofrontal cortex medial edge has activity associated with the positive and negative valence of affective events. The medial area, on the other hand, codes pleasant feelings and does not vary its activity in response to reinforcer devaluation, potentially capturing the entire pleasure dynamics. Other cortical regions, such as the mid-insular cortex and anterior cingulate cortices, have been linked in coding for pleasurable stimuli in studies. However, pleasure coding in these regions is unknown, and it is unclear if insular or anterior cingulate cortices exclusively code pleasure or emotion more broadly. Positive affect is uniquely lateralized in the front left brain more than in the right hemisphere. It is still unknown whether the orbitofrontal cortex's mid-anterior pleasure coding region or the medial orbitofrontal cortex creates a positive pleasure state. In humans, primates, and rats, damage to the orbitofrontal cortex impairs pleasure-related judgments and context-related cognitions. Deep brain stimulation is a potential technology for determining the source of human pleasure. DBS, or deep brain stimulation, of the periaqueductal gray in the brainstem can provide pain relief, presumably through endogenous opioid release. DBS may relieve some unpleasant symptoms of depression while having no good effect. Olds and Milner in 1954 discovered pleasure electrodes in both animals and humans. Nonetheless, subsequent questions have been raised over whether most electrodes provided pleasure or were merely a psychological process analogous to wanting without liking.